My stepmom stole $75,000 from my dead father's bank account to buy her daughter a brand new BMW. Then she patted me on the cheek and told me I didn't deserve it. 3 days later, I froze every penny she had to her name. Let me explain how my father pulled off the ultimate revenge from the grave. My name is Michael. When I was 18, my dad died of a sudden heart attack. He left behind a small estate and a massive mistake. His wife, Amanda had a daughter my age named Jessica, and from the second my dad was put in the ground, Amanda treated me like an inconvenience. It started small. She redirected my college fund to pay for Jessica's modeling classes. Then, she sold my real mother's wedding jewelry to fund Jessica's designer wardrobe. I was furious. But I was also a broke college student with no power. Until I turned 22. I had just graduated. I was standing in the driveway, and Amanda was leaning against a shiny, brand new BMW. Jessica was jumping up and down behind the wheel, taking selfies. Amanda looked at me, dangled the keys, and sneered, "You don't deserve it anyway. Jessica needs this more than you ever would." My jaw tightened. "How did you even access that account?" "Dad left strict instructions," Amanda laughed. "Your father made me joint executor, Michael. I have access to everything. It's time you accepted that I'm in charge now. Everything." That's what she thought. She had absolutely no idea that the night before my dad died, he sat me down in his study and handed me a single piece of paper. He told me Amanda was going to drain the accounts. He told me she was going to favor Jessica. And then he told me about the test, that $75,000 graduation fund. It wasn't just a gift. It was bait. "You let her take it," my dad whispered to me for years ago. "The second she signs for it, she legally hangs herself. Don't say a word." So standing in the driveway, watching Jessica rev the engine of my stolen future, I kept my face completely neutral. "Just tired, I guess," I said. I turned and walked back into the house. Behind me, I heard Amanda whisper to Jessica, "He's up to something. He never gives up this easily." She was right. I was up to something. But the trap had already been sprung the second she transferred that money. I went straight to my dad's study, the one room Amanda had never been able to take over. I sat at his worn leather desk, pulled out my laptop, and logged into a portal. Amanda had been searching for since the day my dad died. It was a hidden trust. Total value $2.3 million. Amanda's name wasn't on a single document. It was under a shell business name she had dismissed as a worthless tax write-off years ago. The document read, "Full discretionary control granted to my son, Michael." My phone buzzed. A text from Amanda. "Dinner's at 7 o'clock. Try not to ruin Jessica's celebration with your attitude." I smiled. Type back one word. "Okay. Let them celebrate." At exactly 7 o'clock p.m. I sat at the dining table. Jessica was chattering about her new car. Amanda was nodding like a proud queen. Amanda raised her wine glass. "We should celebrate properly. I'll book us a trip to Paris next month. Jessica needs to network with European agencies anyway." I cut into my steak. "How are you going to pay for that?" Amanda gave me a sharp, condescending smile. "Don't worry about money, Michael. That's for adults to handle. Besides, once I finally crack your father's hidden retirement account, we'll have plenty to spare." She had been tearing the house apart for years looking for that $2.3 million. I took a sip of water. "You seem very confident about finding it." "Oh, I will," she snapped. "It's just a matter of time." I stood up. "I'm turning in early. Big day tomorrow." I fell asleep to the sound of Jessica revving her new BMW in the driveway. Let them enjoy the night. Tomorrow, everything would change. Mid-video twist the next morning. I woke up early. I put on a suit. Not just any suit. It was the exact suit my dad bought me for my college graduation. The last gift he ever gave me. Amanda had actually tried to give this suit to Jessica's boyfriend last Christmas. She had no idea I had it hidden at my friend's house. I walked into the kitchen. Amanda's eyes narrowed at my formal attire. "What's with the suit?" she mocked. "Finally got a job as a waiter?" Jessica snickered without looking up from her phone. "Maybe he has a court date." I poured my coffee, enjoying their smugness. "Actually, I have a meeting at Riverside Financial Group, Dad's old company." The clatter of Amanda's coffee cup hitting the saucer was deafening. "What?" she gasped. "Why would they meet with you?" "Something about Dad's old accounts. Apparently, some documents need reviewing." Amanda's face drained of color. "I'm coming with you. As executor, I have a legal right to be there." I straightened my tie. The invitation was specifically for me. It's about private accounts. There are no private accounts, she yelled, her polished composure finally shattering. I grabbed my keys to my dad's old Mercedes. We'll see. The drive to Riverside Financial was pure agony for her. I could see her in my rearview mirror, white-knuckling the steering wheel of Jessica's BMW, frantically talking on her phone to her lawyer. When we walked into the marble lobby, Mr. Harrison, the CEO, was waiting. He shook my hand warmly. Michael, you look exactly like your father in that suit. Then he turned to Amanda. His smile vanished. Mrs. Walker, I wasn't expecting you. I am the executor of this estate, she hissed, pushing past him. I have a right. In the glass conference room, Amanda immediately sat at the head of the table. Mr. Harrison ignored her power play. He opened his briefcase and pulled out a thick stack of documents. We are here today to review the status of certain accounts established by the late James Walker. Amanda leaned forward, practically drooling. The retirement account? You found it? Mr. Harrison looked at me. I nodded. He slid a document across the table, but he didn't slide it to Amanda. He slid it directly to me. This confirms my position as the sole unrestricted administrator of the Walker Family Trust. Amanda's face scrunched in confusion. What trust? There is no trust.
Then came the phone call. Alice, honey, we need to talk. My mother's voice was shaking. They arrived at my penthouse looking like they had aged 10 years. My father stared at his untouched coffee. The bank is foreclosing on the house, he finally said. Mark's business venture didn't work out. The food truck enterprise? He invested everything. Our savings, our retirement fund. The irony was suffocating. My reliable career choice had been deemed less impressive than Mark's entrepreneurial spirit. We need a place to stay, my father said quietly. Mark and Emma are moving in with her parents, but they don't have room for us. I looked around my penthouse. 3 spare bedrooms, state-of-the-art everything. The home I built while they were busy enabling Mark's latest schemes. What about my old room? I asked. The one with the best natural light? My mother flinched. Emma's using it as a homeschool space now. We couldn't possibly, of course not. We wouldn't want to disrupt their lives, would we? The silence was deafening. Alice, my father said, we know we haven't always been fair to you. Fair? You packed up my life without warning. You dismissed every achievement because it didn't fit your idea of success. And now you're here because you need something from me. We were wrong, my mother whispered. Tears were forming in her eyes. While Mark lived rent-free in your house, draining your savings with one failed venture after another, my father's face turned red. We thought he just needed one good break. And I didn't need anything. Every accomplishment, every milestone, they all took a back seat to Mark's latest idea. I stood up and walked to my floor-to-ceiling windows. The city lights twinkled below, a testament to every late night, every extra shift, every careful investment. You know what's funny? That room you gave away taught me the most valuable lesson of my life. Nothing is guaranteed. Not family support. Not childhood spaces. Not even memories. Please, Alice, my father said. We have nowhere else to go. I thought about that day 5 years ago, packing my treasured possessions into my old Honda while Emma planned her mint green nursery. I'll have my real estate agent contact you. I have a small condo on the east side. You can stay there, paying market rent, until you get back on your feet. Rent? My mother's voice quavered. But we're family. Yes, we are. And families should respect boundaries. Consider this a lesson that's 5 years overdue. They left clutching the real estate agent's card like a lifeline. 6 months later, I stood in front of my old house. The foreclosure was final. The property was up for auction. The bank wanted a quick sale. The asking price was well below market value. I'll take it, I told my agent. Make the offer. 2 weeks later, I had the keys. I hired contractors immediately. The house needed serious work. Structural repairs that had been ignored during Mark and Emma's rent-free residence. As I walked through each room with the renovation team, I found pieces of my past carelessly stuffed into corners. Old science fair ribbons, photographs, even my medical school acceptance letter crumpled at the bottom of a box in the basement. One Sunday morning, a familiar car pulled into the driveway. Emma stepped out, her face a mask of indignation. You bought our house. How could you? We were planning to figure something out. This was never your house, Emma. You were guests here, even if you never acted like it. But the children's memories, they're home. Like my memories? The ones you packed away and destroyed without a second thought. Funny how memories matter when they're yours. What are you going to do with it? She asked, her voice smaller now. I'm turning it into a transition home for medical students and residents who need affordable housing during their training. People who work hard, who sacrifice, who deserve a place that respects their journey. Mark could manage it for you, she suggested quickly. He needs a new project now. Mark needs to learn the same lesson you all did. Success isn't about getting chances handed to you. It's about earning them. 3 months later, I stood in the finished transition home. The mint green walls were gone, replaced by calming blues and warm whites. My old room, with its perfect natural light, became a study room filled with medical textbooks and a large table for group study. On one wall, I hung my framed medical school acceptance letter. Alongside my current surgical credentials, my parents came to the opening ceremony. "This is beautiful, Alice," my mother said, touching my arm gently. "You've created something meaningful out of our mistakes. Out of my pain," I corrected softly, "but also out of my strength." The first residents moved in that week. Young medical students, eyes bright with determination, futures full of possibility. In them, I saw echoes of myself. The dedicated student, the hard worker, the dreamer who refused to give up. Emma sent one last text before I blocked her number permanently. "You think you're better than us, turning our home into your charity project." She still didn't understand. This wasn't about being better than them. It was about being better than the person they tried to make me become. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even. It's about creating something beautiful from something painful. Turning wounds into wisdom, hurt into hope. If you've ever been pushed aside for someone who didn't earn it, drop a comment below and type "earned." I read every single one. Subscribe to the channel for more stories about people who refuse to stay down. I'll see you in the next one.